Good afternoon and welcome to Craggs FN. Today's video is about Blacksite Area 51, even though people don't really call it that. And I think it was meant to be a sequel to the Xbox PS2 game Area 51, which is also a sequel in turn to the arcade game Area 51, in which people had blue jumpsuits, green jumpsuits, and it really just looked like a pile of shite. I am dreaming of a shite Christmas. Joking that, no, white Christmases. Fuck off. So this beast was released in 2007, developed by Midway Games, Midway Austin Games, and published by Midway Games, who are no longer in operation. Defunct is a good word to use here. Defunct. And it's a first-person shooter game where you get a wee squad to kick about with you, and you can tell them to do some things, even though it's quite limited. And if the wee do-hing button is red instead of green, you can't tell them to do anything. So you need to wait for the wee red do-hing button to go green before you can tell them to do things. Right, good. Game starts in Iraq. Fucking pure war and that, mate. What's it good for? I don't know, fuck all. And you go to a bunker with alien things in it and they fucking leather you, and that's exciting. Except the game runs at like 12 frames per second most of the time and is jittery as fuck. I remember actually looking forward to this coming out, but when I got a hold of the game, it was like, what happened? Where's the polish? Where's the smoothness? Where's the fun? Now, I've recently rediscovered it, obviously, because I'm doing it here as a poo review, and it's not as bad as I remember it. Sometimes these things can be a lot worse than you remember. This one's not as bad. It's got some good ideas. It's got quite destructible environments. And you cut about and throw a grenade and everything blows up, and it's like, ooh, quite like that. But that's when the frame rate tanks. But I can overlook bad performance in most cases, unless it's like a Cyberpunk 2077 sort of idea or a Fallout 76 sort of caper, It's like, it's not even barely playable, it's just a heap of fucking messy, janky shitems. But this one's not too bad. It's a lot more polished than those two, I'll tell you that for fuck all. That's embarrassing, I'm sorry. I can't believe some of the games that come out now, just the state of them. Anyway, so you're cutting about, killing alien things, killing alien hybrids. I think there's a mad scientist in the loose or something. Can't remember the story, but it's like every story in video games that I talk about, they're pish. Even like the really good ones are like really basic, but I don't mind basic because that's when things don't get too complicated and they don't get fucked up as much in sequels. Well, relatively anyway. So even though it's a first person shooter, there are vehicle sections, God help us, and they aren't very good, okay? There's also on-rails sections where you're just shooting at things. Guess what? They aren't very good either. Sometimes it goes so fast it makes my fucking eyes spin. It makes me feel very queasy at the bottom of my stomach.
Orders are to clear this quadrant. Focus on entry points here and here. Keep the bodies alive as long as you can.
Still, it's nice of them to try and put something in that's just, not first-person shooters. It feels like a fucking asset flip. This would be considered an asset flip in today's market. It would be an indie game, or, a scam. Total and utter scam. But I don't think this is as bad as that. Kind of feels that way, though, when you're playing it. There's just, it's fun enough to shoot people in the head, and then they dive all strange ways, and it just feels like there's something absolutely, utterly missing in the game's core. It's a shell of what it should have been. Probably because it was pumped too early to make shareholders happy. And then when they finally realise, we're not making any fucking money. It's one of those situations. Been going on since time immemorial, no doubt. Although I wasn't too switched on. Well, I wouldn't say too switched. I didn't give a fuck when I was playing games when I was younger. I was just happy to be playing the games, even though some of them were, not the best. Not the best. Like this game, it's not the best, but it's also not the worst. And the amount of money you'll pay for it now, probably far too much actually, because the retro market has went haywire since COVID, and then the retro market before that went haywire because of YouTubers making games popular and then thinking, we can start charging £40 for these 50-year-old games that aren't worth a fart in a gale and take 2 minutes to finish and just really aren't all that fun. This one it's okay. It's okay with a side of mega jank, right? See you later.